Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here. And if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks, everybody, for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. I'm producer Chris, joined as always by the legend himself, Mr. Jim Cummings. How are you doing today, sir?
We are back in the saddle again with a damn fine show today, huh?
Yes, yes. Woo. And it's been brought to my attention that just a little quick announcement, that about like 90% of you that are watching are not subscribed to the channel. So I just want to start this off by saying, shame on you. Very bad.
Boo hiss. Officially.
But seriously, if you guys like this stuff, be sure to subscribe, because YouTube's a weird kind of app website. It is possible on YouTube to actually watch something and never be recommended that channel ever again. And on that topic of social media, today we have a very, very special guest for you. You know him well, tens of millions of followers across all social media, hundreds of millions or billions of views.
On YouTube, over 14 billion combined.
That was a B, folks.
Yes, in 3.5 years. Across all, over 25 billion.
Jeez. You heard the man himself, Mr. Nathan Kessel. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi! It's great to be here, man.
You get your own soundtrack. That's amazing. Good for you. Good for you, pal.
It's always so jarring to be sitting in front of you, Jim, because it's like I remember when I was just a baby watching.
I have that effect on everyone.
Yeah, like growing up watching Winnie the Pooh, and now being here is absolutely wild.
Oh,
thanks so much for having me, guys.
Oh, thanks for saying that. Appreciate that. That's good. That is good stuff. Well, you are quite the sensation.
It's been happening.
Man, oh man. I mean, and you do it all with a fabulous sidekick.
That's right.
And there will be some questions coming up about your and a gorgeous mansion house. That helps. And we'll be talking about some of your furniture.
Oh man!
Downstream,
exposing me. All right, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
But we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for carving out some time here.
For you, anytime, man. Anytime.
That's amazing. What the heck is your workday like?
Okay, I mean, for a lot of different creators, it can be 9 to 5. It can be 9 to 9. And for some people, it can be like an hour a day. And for me, I used to spend more of like the 9 to 5 type of craftsmanship on my craft. But with social media, as we know, every good thing comes to an end. And, each series on social media has a lifespan of anywhere from 6 months up to 6 years. And when I was starting, I did this Karen series that you won't be able to find really anywhere on the internet. And it was where, I had this awful neighbor Karen, and we had a neighborhood feud,
Well, that's a thing too.
Was her name actually Karen?
No, it was my mom.
But
in the series, her name was Karen.
Good.
And is your mom's name Karen?
Yeah, exactly. And it was like the height of the Karen meme. So I was like, what if I had this awful neighbor Karen? We just kept pranking each other. She kept calling me Ethan, and I would spend literally 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. every single day. And the first video, I think, got 40 million. And then the next one got 74 million. And then it just kept going. And then that series eventually, it's called falling off, right? The series fell off, it died. And I was like, I will never spend this kind of time on this job ever again. And that's when I started doing the Balls of Fate. And I was like, Balls of Fate. And it said your best friend has to give you $50 or your best friend has to give you $500. And I was like, wow, that took 1 minute to film. Cool. And that got 50 million views every time as well, or 100 million views when I would do it. So.
Have you got, I see you don't have your magic wand with you, but is it back at the ranch? Is that what, because that's amazing. I mean,
which one?
The golden touch.
The golden touch.
Everything is ding, 50 million, please, ka-ching.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a constantly evolving thing. And, it really is some people have it, some people don't. Some people spend it doing a different way, and everybody's golden touch is different. And we all have a different impact and a different superpower. You know what I mean? Some people are meant to be engineers. Some people are meant to be creatives. And it's really amazing to get to be in this space where, I used to be a trained opera singer, and then pivoting into the world of social media was a really different thing. I was like, I don't know if I'm
I
gonna
would
be
think.
yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it, but within the first like 2 weeks, I started going pretty viral, and within a month, I had landed my first viral series that landed.
And
on, like,
when is
MTV,
that?
and
What year is that?
That was 2020. So I downloaded TikTok on March 3rd of 2020, and by April 14th, that was when
You owned it.
I had spoiled milk in
Yes.
the fridge. I was living at home. And I was like, all right, let me grab some rubber bands. And I had my mom's like goggles because she used to be an engineer back in the 80s and 90s. Got her goggles from the 80s. And I was like, all right, I guess it's time to go put rubber bands on this spoiled milk jug. And it just broke the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
No
So
kidding.
I'm really curious about like the full pivot to like, so I'm going to frame it this way. To me, you're of this kind of like, I want to say it's like the second wave of social media influencers. To me, the first wave was kind of like Jenna Marbles
Yes.
and, back in that time frame, I'm kind of drawing a blank, but like
David Dobrik, Mr. Beast, Jenna
Yeah,
Marbles.
yeah.
Beast for sure.
I mean, even before the Mr. Beast and everything like that, I'm thinking more like Linus Tech Tips or channels that were kind of more like long form educational.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like to me, even Jeffree Star was like kind of part of this newer generation.
Oh, would you say so? Yeah, yeah, okay.
Because to me, that's like, you had your YouTubers back in, I'm talking like the early 2010s,
Right.
like 2012, 2013. At least when I was in college, that's when I first kind of started to take note of like, oh, people are like actually trading this whole thing in for their careers. I remember doing and not to blab on too much, just kind of giving context to my question here. I remember doing oh my goodness, what's the name of the YouTube channel? It doesn't matter what the name is, but it was like a car influencer, all about cars and racing and Donut Media.
Oh, yeah.
And I did a skit for them, and I remember being cast. I was cast traditionally as you would an actor. Through an agency. They had you were paid like an actor. It was an 8-hour day like an actor.
Wow.
And I remember going down there, and this is probably 2016, 2017, and they had a full on studio. For their channel.
Yep.
In my mind, I think even at the time it was nuts to even think about YouTube themselves having studios, and this one channel had a studio and casting and all this stuff.
Wow.
Okay, so all that to say, I think the second wave that I refer to that you're a part of is kind of brought along by the vertical media,
Absolutely.
by the TikTok,
Yes.
like all that new vertical kind of media, like the TikTok dances, and your popularity kind of does coincide with the pandemic. I think that's when it kind of blew up. The vertical media, the short form, almost like the Vine reinvented, era. So I say all that to say, long-winded, but were there any previous, social media influencers who inspired you to start doing this? Like, where did that inspiration come from coming from opera into being like, I can make these videos. I want to do this full time.
Yeah, it's a natural progression.
Yeah, right.
Operative.
Exactly.
It's so obvious.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't even have social media. I never watched YouTube videos before 2020.
Interesting.
It just wasn't, I didn't even really know about it. Like I watched Netflix, and I would say in like 2019, I had opened YouTube and I was like, oh, there's this like Pokemon Go player. His name is Mystic7. And we're actually friends now, which is so cool because it's like he was like the first person I ever watched. But I had never even heard of like David Dobrik or like really like Mr. Beast or any of them until after I started pursuing it as a career. Because I downloaded Instagram I was 20 or 9. I was 19 maybe. I was a junior in college though, which for my generation was very late. Most people had it in high school or middle school. But like as soon as it came out, people were on it in like 2007.
Well, you caught up.
Yeah, I definitely caught up. And, on March 3rd, what made me download TikTok was, it was a pandemic. And in Houston, Texas, we had the first case of COVID actually at Rice University. And so we shut down, and then Houston shut down, and then the country shut down. And I got really depressed. I was like, man, I was in grad school, but I was also singing anytime I was getting hired for gigs, which was mostly during the summer because the schedules they would make sure it would work, right? But I was singing professionally already by this time. I had sung with the Boston Symphony Orchestra, I had sung with the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra, and
And those are like some of the biggest in the world, are they not?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The creme de la creme.
Yeah, I started singing with the Boston Symphony when I was 16, actually. And I was the youngest person to actually like get into their choir, the youngest guy to have ever gone into the Boston Symphony's choir.
Wow.
But it was such a weird transition because I knew I wanted to continue to make people feel moved. But with content, it's much harder to make people feel impassioned like what you can with music.
Oh yeah.
Or like
music.
sad or, bring you to tears. So I was like, what if I could bring people to tears by laughing so hard that they just forget about their troubles in the world for a while and they just can't help but smile.
That'll work too.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, okay, I'm really depressed. I lost all my jobs. I had no income coming in. School shut down. I was in my final year of my master's at Rice. I was like, okay, I have a stale marshmallow in a mug. I was like, if this goes in, I'll get a tattoo of SpongeBob. And the stale marshmallow bounced on the ground. It bounced into the cup. And then there was my tattoo of SpongeBob right there. So I don't have a tattoo of Winnie the Pooh yet, but maybe we'll see that in the future.
I can't believe I'm going to call Tom Kenny right now. God damn you.
Yeah, right.
You stole my spot. I wanted the ankle.
Yeah, exactly. But, then it just kept blossoming and pivoting into like that Karen series or the Balls of Fate and, more and more and more. And I just started this series that really went viral yesterday called The Emotional Support Human. Because you know how we have like emotional support animals. And so
Emotional support human.
yeah, I am my fiance's emotional support human. And
that's good.
it's all about like
That's nice of you.
yeah, and
You're already there.
exactly. It's like, all right, like let's just let's just have fun.
Traveling.
Exactly, no traveling. Like it's just super easy and right there, and like we just filmed one in the car. But yeah, the video got on YouTube just 10 million views since yesterday. And
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Aw, say it with me. Aw.
So it's just like a lot of fun, and you're just constantly pivoting and wanting to create more and more ways to make people laugh. So it's just an absolute blast.
Oh, good for you.
So when you first started, was it like let's try out a couple videos and see where they go, or it's like I'm going to do this no matter what, no matter the view count, no matter how long it takes?
That's a great question. I would say that it's always just been about like, I wonder if I can make somebody laugh. Like that's really what it's been about. And I was like, all right, like I see this is what's trending is like if this goes in series, and that's what led to that series. And I was like, oh yeah, this is fun. Like I enjoy getting to like make people like feel something, like just dropping your jaw because that's so ridiculous that you just got a tattoo of SpongeBob, And then like with the chinchillas, and then it just became like, okay, I guess this is working. And the day I came in with the and the day I came in with the rubber bands and spoiled milk, and I was like walking through the kitchen, and I was like, okay, like maybe this will get views, like maybe this will make people like laugh. It was supposed to be a science experiment, and I'm walking through the kitchen, and my dad's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I'm gonna go explode the spoiled milk in the backyard. He started yelling at me. Don't you dare, Nathan! What do you think? You're gonna ruin our grass?
Milk all over.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin the paint on the house. It's gonna get everywhere. And my mom had come down, and she started because she was in her office working, and she starts yelling at him. Don't you yell at my son? They're married happily for like 36 years.
Right.
But they always have their fun dynamic of don't you yell at my son? Like he storms out because he's getting yelled at now, and she's like, Nathan, get out there and do whatever you're about to do. And I was like, he ruined it.
And then clean it up.
Yeah, and then clean it up. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, he ruined it for me. I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to damage anything. And she said these exact words: get your ass outside right now and do whatever the fuck you were about to do. And if she didn't push me to do that.
I saw that Hallmark card. Yeah. It was so sweet.
Oh, it's great.
Remember what Granny says.
That's right.
Get your ass, that is so sweet.
Get your ass outside and do it right now. Because it's like, what's the worst that could happen? You go viral and it changes your whole life. Like, that's what happened to me, and that's the video that landed on like MTV and ESPN Sports Center and more, Barstools everywhere.
And you did it. Obviously, and that was like the genesis of
that series in particular went so massively viral back then. 10 million views was like your whole life is changed forever.
Sure.
And again, it was enough to get onto ESPN and SportsCenter. It was enough to get onto MTV's Ridiculousness and Fox's Right This Minute and whatever other TV shows that react to these things. So I would say truly it's to make people laugh. Like if I made one person laugh, I was happy.
Yeah. I'm curious now that you said, all these shows take your video and use it for their content. Do they pay you for that?
They can sometimes. Like I did a Got Milk commercial. They paid really well.
Yeah.
And they use like half a second of like a spoiled milk video. I got dressed up in a banana suit. I don't know why like my followers dared me to do it. I was like, all right, whatever. And I had spoiled milk and it was like chunky. By the way, I got like food poisoning every single time that I exploded that spoiled milk. Like I would be locked up for a whole day, like just hanging out, having a blast.
Maybe you should.
Yeah. No, that's for the love of the craft.
I didn't mean to. Like whatever exploded. And one time it just went all right up my nose.
Perfect.
And I was like,
boy, did you get the views?
Oh, I got the views, man. Was it worth it? Who's to say? But I did get. If it made them laugh, it's always worth it. I will give my blood, sweat, and tears. That's why I have literally over 100 tattoos on this leg alone of dares from social media.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I really think that social media is turning into this thing called, I like to call it direct media, because it's like instead of like having to go to the press to make an announcement, like as a celebrity yourself, like you can just go to your phone and say, hey guys, I'm going to be here now. Like come hang out and like, I'm going to do a meetup or whatever you're doing, like, or if you just have like a really exciting announcement, like you just got a new role and you want to announce it to the world first and you got permission to do that. And it's really like, it's directly at our fingertips, versus the social aspect. I mean, originally, like it was, Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook to be social. That's hence social media, networking in a college, being able to work on projects together, getting to know people in your environment, right? And it's really amazing how it's blossomed into so much more. I mean, it's really entertainment nowadays.
Yeah, and it's also, it brings people together who would never be together.
Absolutely.
You're in New Mexico and there's a guy in Maine who glommed onto your stuff, and it's like it's amazing. It bonds people.
That's right. Absolutely. I mean, that's how like my fiance and I met,
No kidding.
We met in real life at a creator convention, like a VidCon type of event, right? All we did though was just like, hi, I'm Nathan. Hi, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you. Followed each other. And I mean, like less than 30-second interaction with her. And then like a year later, she DM'd me on TikTok.
Liked and subscribed.
She liked and subscribed. Like and subscribe. It's that, what's that called? That like little subtle hints? What's that?
Yeah.
Subliminal messaging.
Subliminal messaging. Thank you. Yes. Subscribe. Exactly. Every time you hear the whistle, you're hypnotized.
We just flashed a couple. You know what? Actually, I want to go down this rabbit hole really quick. Because I remember subliminal messaging was like a big deal when I was growing up. It was like there's rules against that. You can't air, because it was like a proven thing. Like you would like put the cigarette commercials back in the day. They'd have like there's a Family Guy joke where it's like smoke. There really is like ways you can splice something into a frame so quickly. And how do you control that with like nobody's moderating what we put out there, what you put out there, what anybody puts on the internet. So why can't you just put in your own subliminal messaging?
Oh, you can. You can. What we should do for this one is like,
subscribe.
You should have like a micro frame where it just like flashes subscribe, but your brain doesn't even
literally
like
what it
see
is.
it.
Yeah, that's like what it is.
They used to do that on like beer commercials way back in the day, right? And,
or even like more subtle than that,
much.
like like out of focus, slightly pixelate.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be a full message, but your brain picks that up like a optical illusion or something.
I know, man.
I'm on this optical illusion subreddit right now.
Oh, really?
It pops up on my feed like
How
every
did
day.
you get down that rabbit
I don't know.
hole?
It was just like on my front page one day. And the brain is capable of some crazy stuff.
I can imagine.
Like you can't always believe what you're seeing. Like illusions are crazy.
You got to send me some of this stuff. I want to see
will.
it.
I'll send you
My
some.
eyes are so weird.
Sorry, I had to go down that.
No, that's awesome.
Quick.
Like I've never even like used Reddit, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't even know what it like. Anna watches
Not really.
a podcast religiously, and it's like the Smosh. Have you guys heard of
Yeah,
Smosh?
of course, yeah.
So Smosh is just like a huge OG YouTube channel, and all they do is read Reddit stories, and it's so fascinating, like the things. And I'm like, this is on Reddit, like. What?
Wow.
Okay, yeah. I thought Reddit was for like stocks and stuff, like back in like the GameStop stocks, or I don't even know. But yeah. Where were we?
We were
I don't know, but
lost.
Jim, I want to get your opinion on like because you've been around the entertainment industry for 4 decades.
Yes.
And so, I mean, when you started, there wasn't even, was there cable? There was no cable.
Gosh, let me think. That's a good question. Boy, it was, yeah, there was cable. It was a few years old.
Yeah.
There was NBC, ABC, CBS, PBS. Then there was something that my good buddy Ken Papagham was involved with called On TV. And you had to buy a separate gizmo, and you plugged in and you turned off put it on channel whatever, and then click that on, and then you could see the latest Clint Eastwood movie or something. And I guess that was the precursor to cable in general. And then it just, the whole world exploded.
Yeah. So what's it been like witnessing all the different transformations and permutations, I should say, of entertainment, how it's been consumed and.
Well, it's interesting for me because my generation, we went from, I can remember the first time I ever saw a TV. I don't know what I was, 4 or 5. We did have a TV, but it was broken for like 3 years. And I said, it'd be nice if we could. So anyway, we finally got one. And it was black and white. So I went from black and white TV to this thing, to satellite, to, pictures of ostensibly the man on the moon, as far as we know, and to podcasting.
Yeah.
And now we've got screens galore for everything. Our phones have screens.
Yeah. It's just, and it's constantly adapting into more and more and more.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the implant, and you could read the inside of your forehead. Excuse me, I'm watching The Fugitive from 1969. What do you?
Yeah.
I mean, now that you mentioned that, I think in the last 2 decades, really the only thing that's changed as far as the way we film and consume media has been the amount, like you just said, of screens in the room. I mean, if you go back to 2006 is 20 years ago now. The iPhone was out. Yep. It's the speed and the amount of information that's changed really in the last 2 decades. The technology hasn't changed that much. I mean,
it's true.
If I'm not mistaken, I mean, 1080p was like what?
Oh yeah.
I want to say in like the late 2000s, and then 4K was like in the early 2010s, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. You guys let me know in the comments. But I mean, other than the speed and the rate at which we consume the media, all that's really changed in the last 2 decades.
Is where.
Is that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the where and how.
I mean, because if you think about 2006, what was possible, we had phone cameras that weren't that good, but we had camcorders that were, fabulous.
Yeah.
From 2006, go back another 20 years, 1986. I mean, look at that. Now we're looking at Betamax and VHS and
Quantum leap
no
almost.
DVDs. So what I'm ultimately trying to say and bring up in conversation, let me hear your thoughts on this, is where does it go from here? It almost needs like a new physical medium to be invented, I know. And I guess the metaverse is maybe they wanted that to be kind of, virtual reality. But what do you think?
I do think it's going to like metaverse land, like they're creating all sorts of brain chips, like Neuralink is creating a brain chip where you can like download your brain onto a chip, which is, I just can't even fathom it. And I think that AI too is also really pushing things. But like I just got I've always here and there have bought like a Samsung phone just to be like, all right, how does that phone compare to an iPhone? But I've always had an iPhone since I was in high school. And I just got another Samsung phone because I was like, man, like I love the iPhone and everything, but it's like the same since it came out. It's just an iPhone. But the Samsung, I'm like, whoa, this is such it's a whole new interface of my phone, and it's just as light and thin as an iPhone. So it's like, like, I mean, literally, it's like exactly the same size. So
that's right.
And that's even thinner when you fold it out, which
now
is
Samsung
wild.
paying you right now to say this?
No, I mean, but I'm just saying, hashtag not sponsored, no. Samsung, please sponsor me. But no, I mean, it's so fun to see the differences where it's like, wait, this is a even
That's pretty cool.
This is a 200 megapixel camera versus a 48 megapixel camera. I mean, we're talking a quantum leap right there. Like that's a
true.
huge difference in
That really is.
what you're filming. I mean, we're talking about like TV studio level of huge megapixel cameras to the 48. I mean, like that's it's out at the same time. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
you know, it's like, wait, now we're starting to see who's gonna push the envelope more.
Yeah.
And again, with the Neuralink, with a brain chip type of thing, it's like, how is that even gonna work? You know? But I used to watch these like sci-fi shorts of the week, and that's what they're called if you like Google sci-fi shorts of the week. There's this one called Sight, and it was an eye chip that you could see everything in life, where it's like, you know, let's say they were like cutting just like a zucchini, and it like lined up like where it was like a game, and you had to like chop
augmented
it on the
reality.
Yeah, it was augmented reality, but like really just like right there, right now, where it's like if you wanted to fact check what you were saying, they would just fact check it right then and there.
Yeah.
In the moment, it's wild that it's like,
Yeah.
wait, that's like within
It's a little intrusive.
grasp. It's
I
definitely
mean, like,
invasive.
a lot.
Yeah. But I wonder how far we really are from that. I mean, it feels like
Yeah.
we're only 5-10 years away from
Right? I know. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it's that far away.
And you know, I remember there's a fact out there, as far as I'm concerned, that science fiction always predicts science fact. And I mean, that Isaac Asimov and all the things that he came up with, he basically designed the lunar landing module
wow.
in the 40s. He said,
Wow.
well, we had to use a tripod because when we landed on the moon, and the gravity was so different that we had to do something, and that's exactly how it was.
Yeah.
And I remember in the very first Star Wars, if you recall, R2-D2 went to say Obi-Wan Kenobi, or who was Princess Leia. It was a projection, but it was a 3D projection, and I'm thinking, when's that coming out? And it's been a long time, but I'm sure in our lifetime, I hope, there will be something, a chip on the wall or something and we can watch a Western right here, and there'll be people, you know, if just all you need, perhaps a black wall somewhere, and it'll illuminate, and there'll be 3D holograms walking around the room, shooting each other, having gun battles.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's got to happen. I mean, it's going to be limited by the production, by the individual show to show, but I gotta believe it'll be there.
Well, you know, I think they kind of have that where it's like with Call of Duty and like the, you know, those goggles that they'll put on, like the Apple Vision. And
That's
it's like,
true. Yeah, that
just
is
doing
true.
that. And like, I think there's like one where you like kind of get into almost like a rock climbing harness type of thing. And it's like a treadmill. It's an omni treadmill. And it runs in every direction. And, you know, they're like in a whole battle scene right in their living room, you know,
Right.
and or in a room like this, like on a set where it's like, you know, they go to a place to play video games. So I'm like, that alone blows my mind, where it's like they're literally in a video game at that point.
Yeah, well, I remember this is years ago out at the house. Cameron and you were there, and you were taking turns putting on this this.
Oh,
mask.
yeah, we were playing.
And it was like, and he was getting ready to shoot people. Oh, now it's time to fight. And I'm going to duck. He's going to deck me.
Yeah.
you know, and he's fighting a nothing in the room, but in his head, he was on Mars or somewhere.
I'll tell you what. I think
Crazy.
I remember what you're talking about, and I think we were playing Silent Hill, a horror game in virtual reality.
Yep.
I'll never play another horror game in virtual reality. That is like too far for me.
'Cause you're
I
in
get
it.
easily scared, like a haunted house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm easily jump scared. Jump
100%.
scares, I don't even consider jump scares scary. I just don't like the
just
feeling of
startling.
it.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like if I clapped and yelled right now, you know, you can get jump
Yeah.
scared. It's not like it's scary.
Right. It's not.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
right,
just
right.
the-
It's
the
not like
reflex.
But
Dracula.
holy crap, when you're looking around in VR and then there's
can't
just a
take it
demon in your
off.
face, like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Your whole head vibrates from it. It's like, I died. Darn it. You know, man, it's wild. Like the reactive suits that they're like building to like actually put you fully in the video game,
Yeah.
where it's like it'll like vibrate if it like hits your arm or whatever. I mean, the technology is absolutely insane. But I even wonder if like we actually need holograms. I'm sure for like engineering and things like that, and like astrophysicists, like sure they need it, but like I mean. Like with FaceTime, it's like, would you rather you hold it like this and they like pop up right here, but they're like Star Wars style, all blue, right?
Yeah.
And would you rather just like see them, be like, all right, bye, and you hang
I
up?
think
Like,
the ultimate, at least for me, would be like some sort of like contact lens
Yes.
that could record. Like there's one of my favorite episodes of Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's an episode where they all get this like little chip and they record everything that they're seeing, and then they can play it back and play it onto a screen project. To me, that's got to be, even with like, imagine you put something in your ear like the size of like, say, like an AirPod.
Yeah.
And then you had a contact in, and that recorded everything.
Like
Everybody
Dragon
would do
Ball
that.
Z style, they'll like,
literally,
the scouter, right? Yeah.
I feel like everybody would do that.
Absolutely.
Like, look at how much we record everything. I mean, not even for entertainment purposes. Look at how much, protests and, political arguments and you see two people arguing. What does everybody do? Whips out a phone and films the altercation.
That's for sure, yeah.
Right.
It's like, it's just such a, we were at a museum, well, actually Bass Pro Shops last year.
Yeah, that's right.
We were at a museum, and they have like a historical museum in there and a freaking massive like zoo, pretty much, aquarium and everything. Anyway, it just got me thinking, because they have, these old of like what Native Americans used to wear, and, how they would look. They have their outfits, up on mannequins and stuff. And us as human beings have always combined whatever technology we have of our time with as close to us, as physically as close to us as possible. I mean, you think about a walking stick, we're integrating things literally into our physical being with the technology base around us. You can really see it with the evolution of fashion. What we used to wear, leather hides, all this stuff from killing animals. That's how we could keep ourselves warm. And then you look at, with the advances of technology, starting to wear polyester and microplastics and all that. We would have done that before if we had the technology.
That's right.
And then so all of a sudden, now we're wearing all this plastic. I mean, look at how much fashion is technology based now. You go to a rave, people are wearing LEDs, you see performances where the costume have battery. We were just talking about it on the other day about, in the winter, people who have coats that are battery powered to heat each other.
Oh, I know.
Heat them up. And
I'm waiting till they make like shoes that sync with your phone, so it tells you how many steps you get.
dude, that's been a thing for years. I remember Nike ran a huge campaign on that.
What?
There was an app that went to your phone, and the shoes that they sold for Nike. I'm gonna look it up and put this in a clip right now if you guys didn't know this, because now I'm showing my age. I've been around. But yeah, they had a little sensor in the heel, and it would like show your stats for everything, like when you went on a run or whatever.
Damn.
That is so cool.
I
I
didn't
can
know
tell you
that.
like your heart rate too, like somehow.
Probably.
I'm sure they have that.
Well, can't the watch can do that?
Oh yeah,
right?
the watches
Yeah.
can do that, but it'd be so cool if your shoes could just do that, and then you just like bonk it. And it's like, yeah, here's your heart rate. It's like, okay, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I feel like a caveman sometime. It's like, wow, amazing.
Technology is moving so rapidly.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
A day in the real world is like a week on social media.
Yeah. Well, isn't there like something like, I don't know, it's every day or week or month or whatever. The amount of footage that's uploaded to YouTube is like too much to watch in a lifetime every single day.
100%.
That's how much. And I think that goes back, Jim, let me hear what you think about this, just to relate it back to animation and the entertainment industry as a whole. I think the entertainment industry has always been tough to get into, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's shifted from when you were, like first entering to when now
very
you
much
were,
so.
a couple years ago. And I think that it used to be hard to get into because you had to be in LA, pretty much.
That's right.
You physically had to be in another city.
Yeah,
that's why everybody packed up their bags, want to be a star, go to Hollywood.
Yes, indeed.
So that was limiting in that way. And now, in the time that's come up to now where it's so accessible, but now that is tough because now you have to stand out from such a large crowd of people. Now everybody can do it. So you need production value. You need, a shtick or a character or something that makes you unique. Yeah. And all that's to say is, I mean, we're talking about the future here now too. How is that going to change? How is that battle to be, the person in front?
Yeah, well,
change,
there's an adage. It said that talent will always out, and that's good and probably true. I mean, that maybe like that. Yeah, let's call that 75% true, because a lot of it is chance. I mean, I was born in Youngstown, Ohio, And if I tried to do what I ended up doing in Youngstown, Ohio, I'd be selling shoes. You know, you have to go where that stuff happens. And I don't know that that's going to change, but 100%. But like for someone such as yourself, you've had all this incredible success with your own cameras, with your own microphones, with your own skits, with your own writing, and
just to
it's
interject,
just a new world.
You said it just now. I mean, you have to go where is, working for you. Did you feel like you had to do that as far as going to a different platform? Did you feel like you had to be on TikTok? Did you feel like you had to be on Snapchat or YouTube or whatever? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I was like born on TikTok, if you will, in the world of social media. And, starting there, there was no payment when I started, right? So for the first 6 months 7 months on the platform, started March 3rd, it wasn't until September that I actually got a payment for the first time. So even though these videos were getting 10 million views or whatever millions of views, wasn't seeing a single cent, even when it was on the TV shows.
Really has to accumulate, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah. And
what's behind that? I mean, if you start off with 10 million, is that viable?
Nothing.
Is that a launch pad? I mean, it's a launch pad.
It's a start, but it really only got me to like 100,000 followers, because just because you got 10 million views doesn't mean you're getting the following and building an
I was going to
audience.
ask you that. How many? Okay, so if you have, because we've got different stats on that as well, and if you get 1 million views, you get how many followers?
It can be anywhere from 100 to 10,000. Yeah, you're not really going to get like 100,000 followers from 1 million views, but you'll get like 1%,
Oh, wow.
Or you can get up to 5%, I would say. But if, you're not really going to see like.
So you really have to knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I have one video that hit 1 billion views. I think I mentioned that. And from that, I gained, I believe it was 1 million subscribers.
Jeez.
That's
so 1 billion.
1,000 to 1, yeah.
So 100 million, 10 million, 1 million. So yeah.
All those subscribers 1%. Is amazing, but look what it took to get them.
Yes, years, to really build and then again, there's also, so to answer your question though, I was on TikTok and I was like, man, how am I going to make money? Then I started paying out. YouTube wasn't paying, Snapchat, Instagram, nowhere else was paying for shorts yet. And so then I pivoted over to Instagram because I was like, this is a good platform. I guess this is what I have to do to make an income is like, get brand deals. So it's like Instagram and TikTok. Then brand deals started going to TikTok. But I always thought, I was like, YouTube is really the crown jewel of social media. And that is where you can have a living. And so in 2022, I jumped onto the YouTube bandwagon. And
that's like when they first came out with shorts, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. Yes. I think it was end of 2021 is when they came out with shorts. I got in on 2022 in the summertime. And, so it'll be 4 years in July or June, I think, or maybe it's August. But yeah, so in, the ability to go viral, though, on YouTube is so much stronger and more power and more reach than any other platform. Because, you're not going to get on TikTok 100 million views regularly. And now on YouTube, I have a new video every month that hits 100 million views.
And do you think
that's amazing? Why
do you think that is? Do you think that's because YouTube and Google owns YouTube, right?
Yes.
Do you think that's because they're like the most established company behind it?
Yes.
Or another thing that creeps into my mind is demographic. At least my belief, and you probably have the numbers, but I feel like Snapchat, TikTok have a higher presence of children than YouTube does.
It's honestly, each platform is pretty much like equal with like the kids that use it. It's more of like our adults on the other platforms.
Yeah.
Because kids always want to consume content, right? And that's like being raised in a technological age is like, oh yeah, this is just part of my life. All of my friends are on it, so I'll be on it.
Right.
But I would say like Snapchat nowadays, it is mostly younger. Like my primary age demographic there is like 13 to 17. Whereas on YouTube, it's like 25 to 35, But also a lot of those accounts are their kids
Interesting.
watching, and you know, they're anywhere from like 4 to 14 years old or whatever, you know, are probably watching on their parents' accounts who are in the 25 to 45 age range. But I would say that because YouTube has been around the longest, they don't have as many AI accounts or just like bot accounts, if you will. Whereas like, you know, TikTok did start with a lot of bot accounts. And by 2022, every creator started seeing this plummet in their engagement because we were all getting like 20 to 30% engagement, where it's like, okay, I have 100,000 views. That means I'll have 20,000 to 30,000 likes. Now it's like you have 100,000 views. It's like you'll have like 7,000 to 10,000 likes.
Wow.
And that's bots.
And that's now it's real people. It was, I believe it was
to inflate
AI.
it in the beginning to make it look more important.
That's right.
So I feel like that's just kind of like a good business decision.
It is. It's like a smart.
Kind of have to. You know, they probably had like, well, they definitely had investors. You know, here, pump this out here. You know, they say like
that's right.
Takes money to make money. Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Got to come in with a bang.
Yeah, with YouTube, it's been around for so long that when you see like, oh, we have a billion active users, it's really 1 billion human beings who are active on YouTube daily. You know what I mean, or whatever. I believe maybe it's like 1.1 billion. I don't actually know. It's something insane though.
But that's a lot of folks.
It's a lot of folks. Yeah, it's a lot of real human beings who, you know, when I would go out with 10 million on TikTok, 10 million followers on TikTok, never get recognized. But now I go with 10 million on YouTube, and it's like we got stopped. I think like 22 times today or something ridiculous. Like
a couple of weeks ago, we had lunch. And you go, yes, that's me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's wild to like see the difference between each platform and also the demographics on each platform, where it's like, you know, we always thought, like Anna and I, because we each have our own channels, we were like, oh yeah, we feel like we have like a kids audience. And it's like we have adults coming up to us all the time being like, you're the chinchilla guy. And it's like, what's up, dude? And like we just have like a great chat, you know? And it's like, you know, it's like, that's so cool that like this guy who's my age just enjoys the couples content, or, you know, and then kids enjoy the balls of fate
Something
or
for
whatever.
everything.
It's something for everybody. Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But yeah, with social media, it is hard to make it a long-term gig. It's a very tough.
Well, you've got it figured out. That's for sure.
Well, it's just constant pivoting. You know, always reinventing, making new ways of making content. Where it's like people weren't doing podcasts 5 years ago, or maybe they were 5 years ago, but 6 years ago they weren't. Right. It's like it's just a radio show, but now it's on social media, so it's called podcasts. You know, and it's like, okay, like
that's true.
I never thought radio shows would come back, and they are back and stronger. This is literally a radio show. We're just chatting.
True.
And
that's true.
You know, when people listen to Spotify, it's like you're just listening to the radio just on Spotify now, you know? And it's the AM station though, instead of the FM, which has mostly the music stuff, right? So it's really wild to see this medium of content making huge waves.
Yeah.
You know, people make a whole living. Like Alex Earl made a whole living and a life off of podcasting. It's like, and she's like competing with the A-listers nowadays with the brands that she works with and all these like things. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old brave new world, isn't it?
Really is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you're a pioneer. So that's not bad.
It's not bad, man. I know. We got in there and and it's fun to like help friends too to go viral and like show them that like it very much is a formula to going viral. And you know, constantly finding a new way to go viral. And each platform is so different. How do you go viral on each platform? And
do we dare ask?
Yeah.
The formula for any given platform?
Yep, this works on all of them.
Can you divulge?
Yeah, 6.3 seconds to 8.4 second videos, 2 shorts a day, every single day for 6 months on YouTube. And you want to make sure that the watch time is over 100%, and you'll be good to go. That's it.
That's all you have to do.
You're welcome.
That's like the old Steve Martin joke. Well, how do I get rich? He goes, well, okay. First, get $1 million. Yeah. Now, from there, and then, you know,
I know.
Ouch.
It is very oversaturated nowadays. I feel like there's so many people that have like 100,000 followers nowadays. And like before I started on social media, when I was a junior in college, I'd see somebody with like 100,000 followers. They're getting paid like $100,000 to post a photo on their Instagram, like with like a Home Depot thing, and it's like $100,000 for 100,000 followers. That's amazing. Like, and then I was like,
Wow.
okay, now that I have 10 million followers, I should be set for life, right? Nope. Nope.
No. How come?
It's
don't get it.
ever growing. So the people with 100,000 now who are getting $100,000, now you have to have 10 million. Okay, then 10 million became 50 million. Now 50 million became 100 million or 90 million, you know, and it's like just keeps going.
Just the
up
number
and
of
up.
users on the platform, you know, it's exponentially.
It's a lot of saturation.
Right. There's a lot of saturation, and there's so many people now who even have 1 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, whoa. It's like you have to keep posting and then keep growing
Mm-hmm.
to then outcompete and just keep competing with yourself and with the ever
Mm-hmm.
growing, you know, possibilities. But I mean, there's people with 50,000 followers who will do like a TikTok shop thing. You know, they get like 30% commission or whatever. They make like $450,000 in 3 days.
Wow.
Like
That's about what we make. That's right.
I mean, it's
right
it's
about that.
wild what
Jesus.
and I've met some of these people and I'm like, wow, how do you do that? But then they might struggle to do that again.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, okay, now it's back to the $800 months or whatever. But you know, it's so volatile.
Wow.
My favorite analogy that I heard, I remember Ninja talking about this, you know, the streamer Ninja.
Yes.
He was talking about this a few years ago. It was like when he, remember that big $100 million Microsoft deal he had? I can't even remember the name of the platform that they wanted him to stream on.
was
I
like
just remember it
Kick
was
or something like
Kick
that.
or something. I don't think it was Kick because Kick's still around, but whatever it was. Microsoft came out with this new streaming platform to try and compete with Twitch. They gave him $100 million to exclusively stream on that platform, and the platform ended up folding like a little over a year into the existence of it. Anyway, he was talking about how he sees being like a big time influencer or streamer as being comparable to a professional athlete. You know, you're going to get a whole bunch of attention, you know, a huge amount of following, you know, when you're one of the lucky ones to get to the top over the course of a couple of years. And then it's your job to flip that into a viable career by whatever, you know, any means, however an athlete would do it. You know, you're no longer that pro athlete because that's like pretty much the social collective attention span that people have to endure for, you know, like these people popping up. It's like, okay, what's hot at the moment, you know? And honestly, thinking about that, I honestly think that's why Kim Kardashian is like the ultimate influencer, because that's not easy to retain that attention over so many years. You know, what's it, close to, you know, over a decade she's been famous.
I would
like
think.
since like the late 2000s, I want to say is when she got super famous. And like, I mean, I'm sure you know, we feel it even on the podcast, you know, that battle for relevancy, and you know, there's always somebody doing what you do, or you know, like they say in acting, you know, there's always somebody, you know, more talented, better looking, you know, more athletic, whatever, you know, better teeth, you know, better smile. Oh, they're the better height for camera, you know, whatever it is, you know, there's always that competition.
I think in that regard, there is always that competition. But when it comes to creativity is boundless. There's no competition for my creativity versus your creativity versus your, we are all creative. And so it's limitless. It's totally infinite.
Well, I want to push back on that because, that's, I get what you're saying, but also there's like a finite amount, you know? Also, at the end of the day, you like look at like a director like M. Night Shyamalan. Like, he doesn't have what he used to have, you know? Like, he's not capable of telling those stories anymore, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe there's some diehard, but I feel like, you know, his newer stuff doesn't compare to like, you know, the old M. Night Shyamalan with that big twist, you know? And I think kind of life just takes over. I think that's natural for kind of anybody, you know, except that rare like 0.001%, like the Tom Brady or something, you know, like just to be so hyper focused on one skill set for your whole life and continually finding that passion, you know, to come back and, like you said, reinvent, find a new angle, stay hip even, you know, like we see that struggle a lot.
I think with the creativity being balanced in these means, right? Like what you're talking with M. Night Shyamalan, right? It's like it might become stale. It might become irrelevant, like you guys were saying.
Predictable.
But there's
to
always a
certain
way
extent.
to pivot and realizing, I think a lot of people are afraid of breaking the box that they've created for themselves. So like if I only kept doing the Karen series and then I was like, I have to keep doing this, and then waiting for the 70 million to become 7 million to become 700,000 to become 70 to become 7,000, right? And it's like, no, but my audience, they want to like, they don't want to see the cat dancing video. It's not going to pop off and go viral. It's like only you can stop yourself. Only you can create a box for yourself. Because especially with social media, and for any of you who are on social media who are stuck in a rut, don't worry about starting a new series because your audience won't even see it. They won't even. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Sure.
They won't even fucking see it. They won't. It's on the For You page if you're on TikTok. It's on the Reels page if you're on Instagram. It's on the Shorts page if you're on YouTube. And your audience won't see it because they're pushing it out constantly to new audiences. Sure, if you're doing long form movies, long form even on YouTube, like the podcast, and you guys start posting vlogs, sure, you might get some people being like, but I wanted to see the podcast.
Right.
But I wanted to see the twist from M. Night Shyamalan. Why isn't it? Blah, blah, blah. It's like the only person who will notice really, though, at the end of the day is you. And so you have to compete with yourself. If you compete with yourself and forget about who's taller, who's more athletic, or who's more whatever.
Absolutely.
Again, or who's more beautiful. You know, I always used to like be on TikTok and I was like, man, I'm just not a pretty girl. Like I can't do what they're
God, you
doing
too,
and I
huh?
can't.
I have that same problem.
Yeah. And then I was like, how am I supposed to compete with that? And that's when I realized like beauty is a fleeting thing, or maybe bodybuilding is a fleeting thing, like our whatever, right? But creativity will always be there. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, no matter what set of circumstances you're in, you'll always have the ability to create something new.
Yeah, well, talent, will out.
Exactly.
Talent usually rises to the surface.
That's right. And so it's always finding a new medium and a new ways of conveying that. So maybe with M. Night Shyamalan, if you're saying like, well, it feels like it's stale or it feels like there's not that twist where it's like, okay, well, maybe he had to go through this phase to get to his next phase.
What I ultimately was trying to say is just like it's easy to lose that creative passion, I think, as life goes on. And
it is.
It's a skill to keep that passion for, kind of anything. It's,
Well, because there's pressure.
yeah.
As soon as you start getting successful, you have eyes on you, like you were saying, and then there's that pressure of, wait, I can't fail them. I can't fail. It's like, don't ever be afraid of failure. Embrace failure like an old friend. We all go through it since the day we're born.
Yeah.
Ever since we start trying to walk,
Yeah.
we face failure. So failure's an old friend. But I do think the biggest thing for people, especially people who are trying to become in the entertainment industry and do this full time, is that fear is the only thing that will ever stop them. But fear is just a reason to pursue it. Take all of that energy from fear and turn that into boldness. It's like everything has an opposite. Like love's opposite is hate, right? And it's like happiness's opposite is misery, and fear's opposite is being bold. And so all of these things that we think there's boxes around, we created those as humans.
Absolutely.
We've all created them as a society. So we have to just break down our own walls where it's like, for athleticism, it's like, okay, sure, maybe there will be somebody more athletic in the future. But right now, you got to take that. Or if you're an actor, it's like, well, maybe there's going to be somebody more beautiful or somebody more talented. But no one can compete with you except for yourself. Yeah. At the end of the day.
And you've said very similar sentiments, Jim, about like just being the best that you can be, and you can't control anything outside that.
That's all you can control. Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is every audition and then every job that came from that is the Super Bowl. Every single one is the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And you can't phone it in. You can't, because that's somehow or another that comes across to the listener, to the audience, to the viewer. And well, he's just kind of phoning it in. Oh wow, yeah, I mean, you see it with big time stars. I don't know who would be a good example, but not really Clint Eastwood. But you get the idea that okay, he's going to be a badass. There you go, stay there. And it's just kind of you know what? Oh, thanks. I was going to get it, but you can't be your own worst enemy,
right?
And you can't stop. Like when it comes to acting and on auditions, I think you're doing good if you get 1 in 10 you're doing quite good. If you get 10 auditions and get a job, you're doing really well.
Yep.
Nowadays, I don't even know what it would be. Maybe 1 in 30.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
that's a lot of auditions.
yeah, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah,
in
and you
the
have to have thick
entertainment space.
skin.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
oh,
you have to have
absolutely.
thick skin.
Social media too, like dealing with like hate comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you read comments?
Yeah, I read comments. I think they're funny.
Yeah.
I think hate comments
When they are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're funny,
Like,
they're funny.
People will say like such heinous things.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty creative. Like, I'll be like, wow, that's how did they think of that? Like, oh my gosh,
Professional haters.
Yeah, like I'll get DMs that are like 30 pages long of like why I should like myself. You know what I mean? And
Oh my gosh.
and I'll be like, dang, they really like
They really gave this some thought.
they spend like an hour at the minimum on this. I was like, that's sweet.
They'll never,
Yeah.
they would never say that to you in person, though. But people say kind things all the time in person. You know,
Yeah,
they'll
that's
never
for
say
sure.
something heinous to your
That's for
face.
sure.
It's only in the comments.
Well-
That's why I don't even really read the comments.
I
man.
always think I'm like, I wonder who hurt them. Like I wonder what they're going through today that they really needed to get this out, you know,
Yeah,
off their chest, you know. And then honestly, I've had a lot of people too where I'll read comments. Actually, one time somebody commented on Anna, my fiance's post, and they're like, Nathan blocked me a long time ago because I said something really awful to him on his video. And this is when I was like a lot smaller, and they were like, I just want you to know, Nathan, if you're seeing this on Anna's page, I'm really sorry. I was very young. Like they said, like they were like, I was 13. They're like, I'm like 20 now or whatever, 18. I don't know, whatever, years later, right? They're like, I just want you to know, I am so sorry. And that's the thing is that it's like, they were just going through something that day. It's like, I'm not going to judge you for going something, through something that day. Like, Robin Williams said it best. He's like, you just be kind because you never know what somebody else is experiencing that day, you know? And that is something that I'll always live by because it's like, look, I'm not going to judge you. Like, it doesn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
You know, Anna's definitely impacted, and a lot of our friends are they'll stop their careers because of the hatred
Oh my gosh.
that they're getting for no reason. It's like, oh, they did like a makeup look, and you know, they're like, you're a terrible artist, blah blah blah, and it's like they're just like, I'm done, I can't handle it anymore. It's like,
no, you don't want to do that.
you know, it's like, man, that's so sad because
Well,
what
you
a
know.
gift you have with the world, like that you've been sharing and making people feel impassioned by, or like, you know, motivating, or like I'll get DMs saying like, dude, I see that you're bald. And it like, you know, I'm like, okay, hold on.
Okay.
Where are you going with this?
Okay, yeah.
No, but they're like,
He's just like Batman, they're like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
detective. They're astonishing.
exactly.
What a revelation.
Yeah, right. It's
Good
like,
for
whoa,
you.
Where'd it go? But no, they're like, I see that you're bald, and like you're not afraid of like being on camera and like making cute, funny
What's
videos
to
for
be-
the world.
yeah.
And it's inspiring. It's made me feel so much more confident. With my, like, because they're like just starting to lose their hair or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they said. And they're like, because I just started going bald myself and I've been so insecure, but seeing how happy you are, seeing you're in a healthy relationship, like seeing that you are, you know, making it in the world, that you're just happy, like that makes me feel so much more confident.
Is
That's
bald
nice.
considered ugly? I've never even thought of like bald being like
Well, I think
Bald's a thing
a
now.
negative thing.
bald is beautiful.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
people shave their heads.
Yeah, if Dwayne Johnson's bald,
I was
I'm
just about to
bald.
say, look at The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason
Terry
Statham.
Crews. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Statham. Yeah.
There's so many baldies.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex Luthor. Yeah.
he's-
But you know, I think that people, when they're starting to go bald, they get really insecure. For me, I actually always had like a buzz cut. I always had like short hair.
Yeah.
It just felt like, for me, it was always just like a nice, very freeing feeling to not have to spend money on a haircut. I could
sure.
just buzz it myself, you know, and you know the effort of like I have a style or whatever. But like I still have hair. I just shave my head because I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Well,
Even
I
still,
just
like,
had a
so.
transplant from my back.
yeah.
And now I'm fine.
See, all of my hair just went to my back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just, it migrated south.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know,
But
I
I still have it.
Yeah, I still have it. Exactly. But, you know, it's really amazing the way that you can touch somebody's life or touch their heart just through the screen. And it's like, I didn't ever think about making like motivational speaking about being bald, but I get a lot of DMs about that, and it's so nice to get to see. Or like Anna has a very unique nose, and she did a video, or I filmed a video from her side profile, and she got thousands of DMs saying, I have a nose just like you. And I just wanted to say, you made me feel beautiful today.
Wow.
That's wild.
A lot
That's
of
wild to me
like
for some
young
reason.
girls. And it's like, that's amazing that she's inspiring
That's
whole
cool.
generation to be confident in themselves. Where, it's like, you know what? I don't need a nose job. I like that I was just born this way, and I am beautiful. It's
God
like,
already gave me a nose job.
Sure, yeah.
Here it is right now.
Exactly. It's
I've
like,
got it with me.
exactly.
Oh man,
Exactly.
that's funny.
So it's so cool, the power of social media or direct media and the way that
And you never know who you're going to reach.
That's right.
You never ever know.
That's right.
I mean, I'll get letters. I'll get posts, and it's saying that when this one line or whatever from Winnie the Pooh or Darkwing of Duck or any character got them through a tough time in their life. There was one I'll never forget that these kids swear up and down that the Disney afternoon saved their life because they had a video recorder and there was like 4 shows: Chip and Dale, Tailspin, Darkwing, Bonkers, and they would record them all. And they lived in the worst neighborhood in the world, I guess. And the bus would drop them off, and they were half a block away, so they'd run to their house, go in, lock the door, rewind the tape, and then by the time they watched all those 4 shows, their mom was home. So their comfort zone was there. Yeah. And they said that the Disney afternoon saved their life. Mm-hmm. And all we thought we were doing was making cartoons and having a good time. But it kept them in the house, kept them safe, and thank you, Lord. And I hope you guys are listening. And I still remember you. So thanks.
Oh, it's amazing. And that's, I think, the most beautiful part of it all is that you were having fun. You were having a blast. Mm-hmm. And with what we do too is like, if we don't have fun, the videos don't go
project.
Viral.
Yeah,
it reads like, oh, this is stale.
Yeah.
Just like the M. Night Shyamalan.
They're phoning it in.
It's just stale. It's like, oh man, like they're just doing this to try and get views. But like, it's like, no, we're trying to make people laugh. But yeah, if we're not having fun, they're not having fun. And it's amazing that you were having fun and it led to them having fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful life right there.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always say it's the stuff used to get me kicked out of class.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, same, man. Oh, dude, I was such a class clown back then.
You too?
Always.
Oh, really?
Always, yeah. Oof. Always getting in trouble.
Yeah, but I bet you got good grades. Oh, like I was saying, grades don't matter.
Yeah.
let me finish. Grades don't matter.
I got
same here.
I got A's and B's, mostly B's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So not terrible,
that's
not
great.
terrible. Yeah. It was.
I got D's and F's, mostly F's.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've said this before, but there was a movie called Peggy Sue Got Married years ago, and she went back in time somehow and was 16 again. It was Kathleen Turner. It was a pretty good movie, and she was reliving her high school days in some fashion or another, and she was in algebra class, and she pretty much paraphrased what I actually told Sister Ellen Rose when I was a sophomore, and she's going through the machinations, doing this and that. She's not handing in her homework. She goes, Peggy Sue, this is the 3rd day in a row you haven't hand in your algebra homework. And she goes, oh, that's okay, because I know for a fact that I will never use any of this stupid algebra. and that cracked me up because I made the mistake of saying that to Sister Ellen Rose. And I said, honestly, I'm shooting for a D-. If I can get a D-, that'll keep me out of summer school. That's all I'm shooting for here. And of course, I got an F. And I went to summer school.
Oh, that's terrible. How was it?
It was like summer school.
Oh, I hate that.
and then, true story, I failed in summer school.
No. So you had to do winter school
all over again.
Yeah,
winter school.
That's double
worse, it was called Take It Again Next Year. No, then I took business math and got a D-.
Very good.
And we all need business math.
Yeah.
What the hell is that even? Yeah,
talking to an arts major. I have no idea.
Quantitative reasoning and stuff, statistics. Yeah.
Well, Catholic school, you got to be well-rounded.
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
and now I am. So
Yeah, I remember in grad school as an opera singer, it was kind of the culture where it's like, look, these get degrees. We're here to sing. We already took all of our music history in undergrad, our music theory, like ear training, everything. And it
did that help you? Music history?
it helped me learn how to learn.
Oh,
It helped me learn how to
okay,
learn.
that counts.
But no.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, not really. No,
Yeah,
no.
I'm familiar with it to an extent, and it was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it helped when I went to Italy recently and I was like looking at like liturgical like art and there was music and I was like, I know how to read that. Okay, next. Like that was it, But
Yeah.
it was definitely cool seeing like the history of art with the history of the music and how that lined up. Where it was like the Renaissance and there was no perspective. But it's like music kind of felt flat too when you look at music from the Renaissance and it was all in the oh my gosh, not accordion.
A lot
I
of
can't
harpsichords.
Think of, yes, harpsichord. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Was that the one you were thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clavichords and harpsichords.
Yeah, I like the way they sound.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And then Bach came in during the Baroque period, and then it's like, oh, there's like shadows now. There's like depth, and like they're trying to make dynamics and shape. And then it led to the classical period with Mozart, and then the Romantic with Beethoven. So it was cool to see like every single piece, and actually the sculptures too that went with it too, like Michelangelo's sculptures versus Donatello's versus in the Da Vinci's, and just kept getting newer and newer and newer. It's like,
And the four notes that changed the world are ba 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 ba.
oh yeah, Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. Dun 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 dun.
Those are the four
beginning of
notes.
the Romantic period.
That changed the whole world, didn't it?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Didn't think that would come up, did you, folks? I'll tell you. Yeah, you're
music
learning
history.
some stuff now, and they're all going, who's Beethoven?
Exactly. At the Boston Symphony Hall, it's this gorgeous ornate gold leaf all around the stage, and at the very top it says Beethoven. Because he changed the game.
Yeah.
He really changed the game for it all. And that's what social media is too. It's totally changing the game, bringing in a whole new perspective, a whole new way where it's like I don't think the concept of celebrity will ever die out, but it definitely has changed the shape of celebrity. What I mean by that is if we look at it like a, statistical graph, right? Or it's like, along the x-axis we're going and then y just shoots straight up. It's like, and right back down 3 days later. Next person, Liver King, and then it goes back down. Alex Earl, and it's back down. And, it's very quick on social media where it's like you basically have like an A-list level of fame, like the Hawktua girl, where it's like she had to get security guards for a while. I don't know how that's gone, but like you just don't really hear about the Hawktua girl anymore. Whereas like that was a year where it was like it's all about the Hawktua girl, and before that it was Bella Poarch, and before that it was Charlie D'Amelio. Now it's Kabi Lame, and Kabi is he's the most followed person on TikTok, and he like I haven't heard about him in like
Years.
2 years now,
Yeah,
but he just sold his company for like $900 million or whatever, and his share of
That's
it.
amazing.
It's like now we hear about Kabi again. It's like A-list. It's like 2 weeks later. It's like okay, bye.
Yeah. I like this joke that Daniel Tosh says in one of his specials.
Oh, he's great.
Was it Dan? Yeah, it was Daniel Tosh. And this is a special years ago. I mean, I think I was in college still. It was like 2012 or 13. Anyway, he's like, they say everybody gets 15 minutes of fame, right?
Yes.
He's like, no, that's an average.
Yeah.
He's like, 0 for you, for you, for you, for you. 2 decades, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Oh, that's good.
Now it's literally 15 minutes of fame. Like there's this girl called Brit Barbie, and she was like, period Brit Barbie, and she just did this one video, period period, and she wore like like a very like she had a very specific like look like of the makeup and like
a
her
Barbie.
Sure. For
I don't know.
she put like a question mark over my head.
Oh.
And she was like getting swarmed at VidCon, swarmed everywhere she'd go out. And again, it's like social media is wild where it's like, and people will move to LA. And let's say for the ones that have a little more study, it's like they have 2 years of glory. They're making phenomenal money. And then out of nowhere, it's just all gone. It's like, wait, what just happened? How did it's just
Yeah,
no
how could
job
it- yeah.
anymore? But I quit school and I moved out here and I had a life
Yeah.
and now, and a lot of things.
A lot of that in showbiz. I mean,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of that.
And financial literacy in the entertainment industry is such an important thing where it's like you're making money this year, but you have no idea, like save every cent or invest it or lock it up in assets, like get gold, get commodities, whatever it is that you need to do to not spend it, lock it up, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, because then that time will come, it's like, where did it go?
Yeah, what
Especially in
happened to it?
acting, there's
Well, that's a cliche. It's really a cliche.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm this far away from saying it happens to most actors.
Yeah.
You know, you have a big run, millions a year, about 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Next year, oh, what do you mean? The series was canceled? Oh, well, where's the next one? What do you mean there isn't one? You know,
right.
you're right back to square one.
that's right.
And, I used to think that, all the cowboy stars when I was a little kid, I just thought they were all going to be John Wayne and be famous forever. Like there was this show Sugarfoot and Cheyenne and Bronco Lane, and those guys just went away.
That's right.
But at that time, they were the biggest thing in the world.
Yep.
We're not all going to be the Beatles.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
not-
There's so few who are
Yeah.
at the Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds level.
Yeah.
And it's for a reason, because it's not a sustainable living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even for them, it's you just never know what's going to happen, and that's why they start their companies. And Ryan Reynolds is a great entrepreneur, as you can see
Yes, he
with
is.
like Mint Mobile or like the football team, soccer, soccer, whatever you want to call it, team that he bought. And it's like it's really brilliant moves of like you just have to constantly be adapting and finding new streams, because again, you just don't know how long, or even health wise, where it's like, okay, I had a stroke, now I can't act anymore, and there's no more income. It's like, what's going to happen next?
Now
Same thing
what?
with social media. It's every form of the entertainment industry. As an opera singer, I believe we were supposed to get circus performer insurance because of the stunts that you would do on stage, where it's like I had 7 years of combat training.
Wow.
And people don't think of that as an opera singer or a musical theater singer. It's like, yeah.
Is that because you're getting like hoisted up on a harness? Like,
Oh, yeah, whatever
This
they
is
make
for
you
sword
do.
fights and things. I mean,
Yeah, and if you fall off of like a 15-foot platform and people
You
break
gotta
their
know how to
necks,
land.
you have
they
to know how
do.
to land. Like
playing
but
Spider-Man on stage.
Yeah, I did an opera where I was Zeus and I was supposed to be floated off at the end, and I was like, I will not be doing that.
yeah.
I said, I am terrified of heights.
Thunderbolts. There's no.
Yeah,
it's-
Thunderbolts is like, I'm not floating up to the top of the Olympus. Fuck that! Terrified
That's a
of
no.
heights.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh boy. Well, you and my wife, Margaret, she's like,
Oh, really?
no, thank you.
Yeah, no, I
I'll
can't
be
do
down
it.
here.
Yeah, but even planes scare me sometimes.
Oh,
But after a while, I'm like, okay, this is really nice. Like, I actually love seeing like the world from above. It's so nice. But
yes, it is.
also,
I agree.
I don't know if you know this, but in videos, if you change your volume levels like this, then it'll get more views. Just so you know.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, wow, but then you have to go back to normal, and then you slow it down.
Okay.
It's all chill. It's like,
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
Well, we wanted to, before we wrapped up today, we wanted to do a voice swap with you. What do you What do you
yeah.
think about that? I know you're not really doing voices as your thing, but you do
Per
voices
se.
for like
do.
your chinchillas, and you put on some
Yes.
different voices for social
right.
media. So we thought we could get to a couple of those with the
Okay.
old. Are you familiar with the voice swap?
Oh,
do you know how
yeah.
that works?
Yeah.
All right.
And don't forget the fromage.
Yes.
Oh, let me hear you say, cheese of truth.
As who? Oh, wait a minute. Monterey Jack.
Okay.
Was
Monterey-
Chickadee Rescue Ranger.
Yeah.
He was a cheese meister, an Australian mice. Cheese of truth, mate.
That's amazing. Oh
you
my
have it.
gosh, that is so
Good old
good.
Monterey.
How would Taz do it?
Oh, tastes like cheese of truth.
There you go. That's awesome, man.
Oh, not so much.
Yeah.
I like the honey of truth.
No,
There's got to be some out there somewhere.
we got to create you a series called The Honey of Truth. And you take the little honey wand and it like spells out a message.
Swing. Actually, that was never mind.
The honey of truth. How do you do your poo? The honey of truth says you're gonna have a wonderful day. Like just easy as that.
That's true.
Oh, you know how many views that would get? That would get like 20 million views the first time you post it.
Okay, well, we'll be doing that in the morning then.
Yes, yes.
What's
'Cause he
another one?
knows.
What's the voice you use for your chinchillas? I know everybody loves your chinchillas.
Oh man, they. Let me see. They don't actually have a voice, but sometimes like I'll do like a voice up there for them. Well,
That's pretty good.
chicken nugget. You know, like up there. You know,
And now, not only that, but you have cats.
we do have
And,
cats.
and I think I wrote down now who I love the names. So Cosmic Coffee Bean,
Cosmic Coffee Bean.
and that is one of your cats.
That's the newest cat. I just proposed to Anna with that cat. Pulled it out of my pocket.
And then
Got that
Solar
one.
Flare.
Solar Flare.
That is, see, that's such a nice name for a cat. And then Asteroid Destroyer.
Yes,
Asteroid
Asteroid's,
Destroyer.
Asteroid's voice I can do for you because I voiced that one in the,
Yes, let's hear
in
that
some
one.
series where it's like, you really think you can defeat me? Like nice and low.
What's the
Nice.
character for that?
Ooh. What, for him?
What about Baloo? Could Baloo do
You
that?
really think you can defeat me?
Oh, you really think you can defeat me, little britches? Oh, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay, so we should do another Swamp de la Voice. Let's see. How about I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
You know, like a little Stitch laugh at the end
There
of
we
the
go.
thing. That would be a
Absolutely.
chinchilla. That's chicken nugget.
And I think maybe a Pete voice for a chinchilla.
Yeah.
Good old Pete from
Pete? Let's see. What would the chinchillas say?
What would I'll give you? You give me the line, and I'll give you
Yeah.
some Pete.
Can I have a treat, please?
Can I have a treat, please?
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good.
No goofing around. Ba-dum-bum.
See, I feel like Tofu would sound like that. Tofu's our like biggest chinchilla.
Oh.
And one time he got out of our cage. Anna had closed the door. This is a really sad story. I'm sorry to bring the mood down.
it's
But
fine.
Anna closed the door and it didn't latch shut. Like it was closed but didn't lock in, right? And so they do this thing called popcorning, and so they bounce off the wall. So they'll like jump, like, and it's like very spastic. And they jumped out, and all of the chinchillas had gotten out of the cage. They can't do this anymore, by the way. But there was a mouse trap behind the fridge, and Tofu, the fattest chinchilla, he's like the size of a literal puppy. He's like this
wow.
big. Chinchillas are normally like this big, like guinea pig. He's like this big, and he got his toes caught in it, and now he's got the shaka forever.
Oh no!
Because they had to
Amputate.
they
little
were
guy.
half off. He had to get him amputated.
Well, at least he didn't get fully moused. That's what I thought that was going.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, he's totally fine. But he's just got some shaka going on. It's like I see him in my head as like one eye sounding like Pete, and he's like a real goofball of a guy.
Oh, jeez.
That's Tofu.
Well, you should give him some Kung Fu Cow for a voice swap.
Ooh, Kung Fu Cow.
Oh man!
Well, I think you should. Because I think you
No,
did it.
I don't want to spoil it yet because things are in the works.
Oh, okay.
Things are in the
Should we-
works.
okay, that's a teaser. Okay, stay tuned. TOONED, damn it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yes. And shall we segue to the cheese of
The
truth?
cheese of truth. Yeah, we wanted to do a cheese of truth with you.
Okay, let's do
okay.
it.
All right. So how are we? Okay. So we'll
should we do
record.
this?
We'll record the cheese of truth, and then we'll show it right here.
Yes.
We'll put it in. There we go.
I feel like we
you're-
should have Jim
Now
say
you're
it.
watching the cheese of truth.
Yeah.
And now the cheese of truth. Jim has to wax.
Jim, you got a wax? You don't have
Not
a
necessarily.
wax. Yeah, don't do it.
I'd rather, no.
Use
But
nair.
the cheese said you had to, so
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the cheese of truth. It's mostly the cheese of suggestion.
okay, yes.
I think.
Cheese of suggestion. I like that sound better.
Yeah,
that
that
sounds so
it
much
rolls
better.
off the tongue.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I'm in trouble.
So what's next for you? What do we have to look forward to?
Man, I have some secret squirrel stuff that I'm working on right
Oh, yeah?
now. Some stuff with you guys.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Some other stuff. Well, I'm planning a wedding.
Congratulations, by the way.
Look at that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I got to plan that out. It's going to be wild
Yeah,
because
that's always a
both
good
of
time.
us are super unorganized. So we've just
Perfect.
been pushing it off. Like Anna's like, I want to get married to you, but like, do we have to do like a whole wedding? I was like, kind of like, she talked to her mom.
You
She's
got to
like,
include
"Yep."
the I do's.
Yeah, exactly.
Those have to be in there.
They have to be in there. So yes, we're gonna plan that out somehow between our laziness schedules and figure out how when this can be 2027. So
That's a good year to get married.
yeah, it's nice.
I think that's the perfect year to get married. I don't know what but that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Are we going to get invitated?
I hope you will sing at it, man. Like,
Oh,
come on,
look
you
at
wanna,
that.
do you want
Oh,
to
yeah,
officiate
okay.
it?
We can do that.
Are you an officiator?
I could be.
Would you want to?
No, but I play one on TV.
You can play one for our wedding.
Yeah, I would love to. But although I don't, I'm not a justice of the peace or
It'd be
anything
so
else
funny if you came
or an ordained anything.
Could you imagine if you came in saying "Be prepared"?
Yeah,
The wedding.
prepared.
It's like foreshadowing. Be prepared. Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my god.
I
went
know
to
it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded.
I went to a gold digger. I mean,
Whoa,
I went to a wedding a couple years ago.
that was a Freudian
And
slip.
as the bride and groom were walking off the altar, they played Gold Digger by Kanye West.
Oh,
That was the first song the DJ started
man.
playing as they're walking off the altar.
Oh,
And we all
my
kind of just looked at each
gosh.
other like, I don't know if that's the right song to
Yeah,
play at this
that
moment.
might
Should we be
not
laughing?
Ooh, damn.
Tough one.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward. I don't know if it was well, and also the DJ mispronounced the bride's wife. Why can't I talk? The bride's name.
Oh my
Also
gosh.
announcing her name, he mispronounced it.
Yeah, and her name was
I was
Joan.
like, did you had
I mean, that's what I don't know.
He said Joanne.
you had a rehearsal, right? Like,
right.
Wouldn't you go over the pronunciation of like the
that
two most
name?
important people, the most important person at the wedding?
The most important is the bride.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's right.
No, let's just wing it. Go for it.
I know. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, I think that's it. Just the wedding right now. I can't talk about literally anything else.
Yeah.
Just
Understood.
grinding on social media, get ready for some new content all the time. And
Yeah, and for the 10 people who don't follow you, where can they follow you on?
Nathan Kessel on all platforms, baby. You know where to find me.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
It's
thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
doing this. Really appreciate it.
so insane to
Thank you,
get to have
brother.
this opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. Very cool. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. All right.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
Yes, we will see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, I know we say this all the time, but we really couldn't make this happen without you. Really appreciate it. If you like this content, please throw a like and subscribe our way. A lot of you watching are not subscribed, and that's not so good because
Breaks our
for
heart.
you, because YouTube's a weird website, like I said in the beginning, where you can literally watch something and then the website, the app, whatever you're watching it on, never recommends it ever again. So for your sake, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you like it so much that you want to see more, you can check us out on Patreon. We have bonus footage, additional episodes, giveaways, contests, all that good stuff. With all that said and done, once again, I'm producer Chris, the legend himself, Mr. Jim Cummings.
May the good Lord bless and keep ye.
And our guest of the day, Nathan Kessel. Thank you again so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And we will see you all in the next one. Great.
Nice.
We'll have to raffle off that piece of cheese now.
Oh, I sold a slice of cheese once for like $33,000
What?
Of course you did.
on eBay.